So today, really got to thinking a lot about math, equations and problems. Got me thinking a lot about addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Got me thinking a lot about a lot of that. And I don't know if you were a person that really enjoyed that as a kid or you just come to actually just hate it. But there's something that I've come to realize, that multiplication is the power of God. My name is Mark Anthony DeBose Jr. and I was born July 4th of 1986. And it's something very interesting when I sit out here and I just get to thinking. I get to thinking a lot. I get to thinking about numbers. I don't know why I'm always running numbers in my mind all the time. If I have this, started with this, and I get that, and I have that. And I don't know, I just always, I like numbers. I don't know what it is. But something that I've come to really realize standing out here, looking at this, to me personally, is an abundance. Like I obviously couldn't possibly even eat this in a couple of years in reality. That this is an overabundance. And you know what it all started with? A 50-pound case. It was a box that weighed 50 pounds with eggs in it. And that 50 pounds is going to turn into over 2,000 pounds of food to be able to eat that I took from these little eggs. These little eggs, and a little bit of time, and a little bit of care, and a little bit of handling, is turned into an overabundance of 2,000+ pounds of food to be able to eat. That's the power of multiplication, people. That's the power of what God brings us. He doesn't add to us. He doesn't subtract from us. And he doesn't divide from us. He gives us multiplication. He gives us an absolutely amazing tool that when used and used correctly, it's an absolute blessing where you can multiply into destruction. That's not part of God. That heads into the negativities of the world, such as subtraction and such as division, where you're starting to lose what it is that you've had. And sometimes you start to lose it really fast than you're ever able to gain. But addition is like child stuff in reality. It's not really the full magnificentness of who God truly is. It's all about that multiplication, because he turns something from a 1 and he turns it into 1,000. That's just incredible to me, because that's personally just what I see out here. I've seen a small number of 50 turn it into 2,000. And then not even just this is just part of the master plan behind who God truly is, because this is still something that's like created by man in reality. That now, since I have a small flock that can reproduce all on its own, I'm watching numbers exponentially just like blow up like crazy. Like I can't put, multiplication is an amazing tool. When you start to transfer 100 and then you start to realize how much 25 is from 100, it's an amazing number. You start to run into numbers that are life-changing, that are able to change other people's lives, that are able to do something on a mass scale. And then you can just keep going and going and going from there. It's just an absolutely amazing thing that's to me, I just know and see, and I have a good understanding of knowing the promise of what God brings to me. And the promise is that when I just stay steady and doing what it is that I need to do, that this is what comes to me, that this overabundance comes to me. And now that they're starting to crow, that's like, it's a funny joke I've always had with myself. I've never really heard anybody else talk about this, but it's a funny joke for me that when I start to hear them crow, it's start the time eating. It's eating time. It's time for them to start going. But I like for mine personally to grow a little bit more. I have a weird thing with me and processing baby animals and adolescents. I like adults, that I like to let them live completely out and then live some of an adult life at that, and then it's time for processing time. So for me, it's an absolute blessing for me to keep doing what it is that I'm doing, that I stay strong at doing what I'm doing, that I stay consistent and persistent at doing what I'm doing, because that's who God is, and that's what God's able to bring to us and be able to put inside of us and be able to give to us as a promise that he's promised us. That if we stay steady at doing what we're doing, we're going to watch what we have multiply. It's not just going to add. You're not going to take 1 and turn it into 2. That's cool and all, but those aren't the numbers that I'm personally around on a day-to-day with what I see out here. Even thinking about and talking about my landlord the other day. He didn't just go from 1 to 1. No, he's gone from 1 to 100. And it's an interesting system of how all this works, because that's the power of who the creator of this planet is. That's what he's been able to bring to us. He hasn't just tried to take some away from you. He hasn't tried to just bring a little to you. He tries to make it so great of an abundance that it's going to be almost impossible, but not impossible. It's impossible if you don't believe. But he's going to bring you things that may seem impossible, because it doesn't quite make sense. To me, when I look at this, it just doesn't quite make sense to me. It's kind of strange. Knowing and seeing process going from little egg all the way up and up and up and up and up and up. And then the next videos I'll be showing are putting them in the freezer. And then the next videos I'll be showing is cooking up a nice chicken Parmesan meal, one that I really appreciate and I really like a lot. Yet I'm trying to perfect that, and now I'll be able to perfect that with what it is that I have out here, because for some reason, I don't know why, and I ran out of chicken. And this is the power of the absolute glory that I just know that I have this overwhelming feeling of when I think about God and I have a good understanding of him. That he's not here to just make sure that I'm able to just survive. He's out here to make sure that I'm able to survive, thrive, and be able to make sure that other people around me are able to do the exact same thing. And that's just, to me, the most powerful of all type system, type being, type creation to be able to be a part of. And for me, I just absolutely enjoy being able to keep doing what it is that I'm doing. Some days working with this kind of sucks. It's a little hard. It's a little rough. But those rough days allow me to be able to see the good stuff that comes from it. If I don't have those hard times, if those hard times never come to us, if everything is just always good, always great, you always get what you want, you dream of this and it comes to you and it's just everything is just amazing, you're never going to actually know what good truly actually is, because you're never going to have struggles to actually know what it is. So the main thing that I've noticed that I've come to is just realizing and appreciating and being extremely grateful for the fact of all the struggles that I've had in my entire life to be able to get to the point what I'm doing now. That now it's not like I'm just free and clear and everything is good to go. No, I'm still struggling with a lot. But the struggles that I have today are completely different. They're no longer a battle of myself, a battle of my mind, a battle of my attitude, a battle of my energy, a battle of my being of trying to, can I be able to wake up and get it done? And can I do this? And can I do that? And I don't want tos. And it's no longer a battle like that. It's now a battle of, oh my goodness, I got to get rid of some of this. Now it's a battle of trying to find other people that just want to get in on this, that want to just do something with it, that see the greatness behind it. And it's just like, man, that's cool. I want to join on that. That's the new battles that I have today, of finding people that know that this is food, people. This is food. All that chicken you eat, going to Chick-fil-A, going to McNasty's, and McDonald's, and going to Wendy's, and going to Applebee's, and going to Olive Garden, and going to all these fancy places. I don't care where you go. Every time you eat some chicken, this is food. But we don't see it like this anymore today. We don't get to see the true chickenness of a chicken. The stuff that I just watched a video of someone showing me what the factory farms look like. And for me personally, that's the reason why I do this, because I started watching those videos. And I'm just so grateful and so thankful and so blessed. And so just I don't know, it brings in a crazy amount of happiness to me to see something like this, knowing that are they having the best life possible? I don't know, in comparison to what you may think or someone else may think. But what I see out here, I see that they're able to do way more than anything I've ever watched, ever noticed, ever studied, ever paid attention to, as far as trying to create something to be able to have a nice, relaxed, happy, healthy life. For me, this right here is just an absolute blessing, because it's allowing me to be able to see just the whole process of everything that's going on, and knowing that they're good to go. They're not stressed, they're not worried, they're not anxious, they're not paranoid, they're not anything. They're just hanging out. And especially during the day, now that it's starting to get warm out even more, they just hang all out. They hang out in these trees. They hang out here. They hang out around the donkey. They hang out around this hay bale here. They just hang out. They do what they want to do. They come out and scratch and play and roll in the mud and roll in the dirt and play in the sun and have a good life. And to me, that's just an absolute blessing. It's an absolute blessing to be able to be a part of the whole foundation of what it is that I'm eating. Because there's one thing that I have said to myself was on why I even started this, and the whole concept is, if you're eating food that is anxious, that is pissed off, that's stressed out, that is just always fighting and battling, that is always arguing and hurting, that is devastated, that feels extremely confined, that they can't live, they can't be, they can't stand up, they can't walk, they can't go, they feel restricted. If you're eating that, that's what the energy is coming to you. If you're eating food that is so anxious all the time, you're gonna be anxious all the time. That's just, I don't know, I can't say it's a fact, because can't nobody prove that, but that's just what I see from it. That when you're constantly eating this stuff that is just so hurting, so damaged, that's what you're gonna be. So for me, when I came out and started doing this, the first time I started doing this was a revelation to me. But today, after doing this multiple times now, and then continuing to keep doing this, and starting to do it on even a larger scale, realizing that the larger scale I keep getting, the less it keeps getting. That it's amazing to me that this right here, I don't know how, but this right here cost me less than the first 50 batch I did. And this is over 300. It's cost me less to raise and hatch out and take care of the whole thing. So it's an interesting system. The more I keep getting into this, the more I realize and how least expensive it really starts to get. That I don't have to do so much. I don't have to put so much into it. I don't have to involve myself so much. I can allow them to be able to raise themselves and grow themselves and do what it is that they need to do. And it's just something in me that just says, people, God is so amazing. He multiplies. He doesn't just give us a little bit. He gives us too much. too much to even know what to even have and how to deal with, too much to know that we can help out so many other people around you, too much to the point that he's going to hook you up in a way that it's not going to be too much for you to be able to handle, that you're going to be able to take care of it. You're going to know where to put it. You're going to know what to do with it, that you're going to be able to do everything required to be able to keep up with it. It's just an absolutely amazing thing. And that's just how I see and what I read, what I research, what I pray about, what I have a great understanding of. That God is a multiplier. He doesn't subtract nothing from my life. He's not taking anything away. He's making it more. He's not just giving me 2. I could have like 3 chickens out here, and that would say be enough, right? He didn't do that. He didn't divide what I had in half. He didn't take none of this away. He's just growing it and growing it and growing it. So all I see in everything that I do, with every source of these animals, especially when I've taken 6 hens of mine in the front, and I've turned that into, I got 85 right now, 85 chicks from 6. That's extreme multiplication. And then once those 80 grow up, that's going to turn into an extreme. It's amazing. It's never ending. It never slows down. It never stops. It's extreme multiplication on the best level possible that you ever want to be a part of. And when you start to add all this up and you start to see the need behind it, and you start to be able to give out to people to be able to give to their need, you're going to start to have a whole different experience on this planet. When I can start giving some of this away, when someone says that they're hungry, and I say, hey man, come here, I got you what you need. I can just give it to you. I don't need to charge you for this. I give this to you because you're hurting, because you're not where you think you want to be. And at the same time, you want to try to figure out how to be able to do more yourself. And that's for me to be able to show you and guide you and give you a little bit of how to be able to do some more. Because this to me is, I don't know how else to say it, but it's easy. This isn't some hard slave labor work. There's some stuff behind it that looks like it's hard slave labor work, but it's really not. It's something that's just relaxing. It's comforting. Like I sit out here, a lot of people watch TV shows for an hour, 2 hours. I watch these animals. I just sit and watch them. I just sit and stare at them. I just sit and see where they're going, what they're doing, what they're paying attention to, what they're digging in, what they're scratching for, how they're drinking, why are they fighting, why are they running around, why they do what they do. I just sit and study them every day. I still have yet to care to want to appreciate being able to do that. Over 4 years now that I've been raising chicken. I just look at them. I just stare at them. I'll spend an hour every single day of my life just watching them, just hanging out with them. And it's an absolute amazing thing to be able to be a part of and be able to see and be able to care for, because you start to have a closer and a better understanding of knowing what it is that you're consuming. And when you start consuming better and just more clean, more stress less, more just happy and healthy animals, you're going to start feeling that exact same way. And it still comes to me a situation where I could eat as much of this as I want. I could eat one of these a day and I still just don't gain no weight from it. I could just keep on eating it because it's something different behind it. There's no added this and added that. And especially this batch, I made all my own food for these ones specific for the first time. I make it all up and I give them completely fresh, whole grains, and I mix it up and I grind it up and I give it to them. So they're eating something even more fresh. And then now they're out eating the bugs and eating ants and doing what they're doing. It gives you a whole different sense of self when you start to consume something like that. And with that, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for being able to have the opportunity to be able to do such a thing. That when I had the option to be able to like get out and do something like this, that I took it and I didn't run from it. I didn't try to say, oh, I don't know. I sold it all. I got rid of everything. I had to get rid of some stuff because I just, for one, couldn't afford it. That I had to just downgrade and live a very, very simple, very, very basic life to be able to start this. I didn't be able to take the lifestyle I had and bring it here and get it going. I couldn't do that. And I'm so thankful to be able to just make that sacrifice and just do it, knowing that it's not going to be the greatest at first. It's going to take some time. And now that I'm having this time come behind me and doing what I'm doing, I'm seeing that it's an absolute amazing thing to be able to be a part of. And I'm so thankful to know that where my food and where my food's coming from, how it's taken care of, what it's doing, how to be able to manage it, how to be able to raise it, how to be able to make it as cheap as possible, and then without having to skimp on quality and health and anything else, but actually giving them a better life and a better chance to be able to make it. It's just something in me that just makes me so thankful every time I look at this and I come out here and I keep on doing this and I do it more and more. That my big brooder in the front now is empty. That makes me want to get a whole nother batch and just keep it going and keep it cruising, because it's nothing that's too much for me. I absolutely enjoy this. It's fun. And I hope that more people would see it and want to be a part of it, and also see the fun and the joy in it, knowing that you're part of something that is the most amazing thing of life, and that is creating your food to be able to live, because we have to eat. We have to have food to live. And when you're in the makings of creating that source for you to be able to survive, this is my survival right here. This is how I'm able to make it. This is how I'm able to live. This is how I'm able to get by. Because I, in reality, can't, not say can't, but don't want to, and would challenge me to try to go to the store and buy equivalent meat every single day for me to be able to eat. That would be a huge sacrifice, a huge challenge for me, as opposed to me just having my own. That back here, each of these are gonna end up costing me about $1 a piece or so to be able to have. And it's just, that's an absolute amazing thing, that I want more people to be able to get closer to their food and be able to have a better sense of themselves by doing that, knowing that this here is therapy, guys. If you struggle and hurt and don't know what to do, don't know where to go, don't know where to put your hands, you put your hands in on this, and it's just gonna transform your life. And I just wanna say thank you.